And again, secret anime sauce. So this is everything. On key levels, you wanna see objective level of liquidity, meaning your key levels should be 100% systematical. You know, it should be ILQ, SLQ, SLQ, EPA, nothing else. You can use build-ups as well. You don't like it? Let me turn it down. Anime song. What kind of mandar is this? Anyway, this should be mainly your key levels on higher time frame, meaning let's say 4 hour, 1 hour for trade, but you can use it. Oh no, it should be weekly to 1 hour or to 4 hour at least. All of this for daily bias. And then you look to MTF, all right? MTF, medium time frame. And basically you do the same. You'll find your bias on the same principles. But this is more intraday. This should be more of a high time frame bias, right? Like on the weekly bias. And then you have trading days. Trading days. Why is it like this? Yeah. Trading days and sessions. So because you're on medium time frame, meaning it should be around 1 hour to M15, you will look for these, like for intraday session, intraday bias, all right? So you look at structure, you look at algo structure, you look at any MSU or any possible MSU being formed. Then you have objective liquidity, objective on medium time frame, which can be for intraday, but you can use higher time frames sometimes as well. For example, if you have a high from the left, let's say, let me turn this, delete this as well. If you have something like this, and this is 4 hour time frame, and you're here, and this is, let's say, previous week high as well, previous day high, whatever, from 2 weeks ago, this can be your target. You know, you can use higher time frame for daily, for intraday target as well. So let's say price here, you want to start buying from here after price inducing something in medium time frame. It's that simple. But we have talked about bias already in day 3, right? In Asian, how to use Asia for your intraday bias easily. So this is medium time frame. And you can test this, that is gonna work. And of course, you wanna go to lower time frame at the end, right here. So what should we look at lower time frame? Lower time frame for me would be M5 to M1. And that's one problem that you guys are doing. But it's not your bad, it's my bad actually. Because in backtesting videos, I wasn't clear. It wasn't clear, or it wasn't visible. But lower time frame M5 should be used for intraday analysis, M5, M3. 5, M3, intraday analysis, and M1 only for entries. Because some of you are analyzing on M1, and then you kind of lose the sense of price overall of the market fractality. You just go to M1, you look, you don't know where you are at price, you don't know if we swap something important or anything like that, right? So your key level that you want to trade from should be minimum M5, meaning SLQ, ILQ or EPA. It should be based on M5 minimum. So that's all. But let me check to be sure. And then you just look for structure. And that's everything. You use structure, you go to M1 after if something happens on M5 and M3. So now let's have a technical checklist. Checklist on how to trade actually, because that sounds like a big problem as well from what I've seen in backtesting screenshots. Okay, so first of all, if there's no inducement, you shouldn't take a trade. Meaning if there's no liquidity grab, you shouldn't take a trade, any trade. So no inducement, no trade. And this is number one rule actually, because if you ask any algo trader, this is gonna be the first rule. But it can be different for each of them, and we're gonna talk about it. So generally, it should be any liquidity grab. You know, if price wants to reverse, it will always grab liquidity unless they want that low to go. That becomes an inducement low, and price will just reverse without taking any liquidity or without inducing anyone. That becomes a weak low for you. So if price just shoots, let's say there was one today, I think, then you just don't catch the trade. You shouldn't be expecting yourself to be in every trade. Let's say, yeah, I haven't seen chart for such a long time, so it's a bit awful for me, but it's fine. So let's look at today's price action here, for example. If I see something like this, right, we have liquidity grab, I see a low being formed like this, I wouldn't take a trade from here. And I would miss this whole, how much is it? This whole 70 pips move. Is it 70 pips? Yeah, it should be. Did price move that much today? 76 pips. Yeah, even. So just because there was no inducement here, all right? We said, okay, we set this low, maybe, and then it happened to nothing. So yeah, I would miss this whole move, and it would be, oh, daily low. Anyway, let's no. Anyway, it's totally fine if you move it, miss it. Okay. So no inducement, no trade. You know, if you miss a trade because you listened to this rule, it's totally normal. And you all know that statistically you're winning, like whatever happens. Unless you want to be an influencer trader, then you will unless you want to be an influencer and sell courses, then yeah, then you can try to catch and remove, but it's bullshit, honestly. So yeah, and then for the next rule of technicals or question in general, you should ask yourself if any liquidity have been taken, which is the same rule as the first one, but I had it in my checklist here. So yeah, if you want to trade a reversal, you should have asked yourself this: has anything like that happened? No. And before I said as well, no inducement, no trade can transcribe differently to each and every person. For me, no inducement, no trade would be no inducement, like no fresh liquidity being created. meaning MSU, for example, if you're trading from demand level, that's inducement for me. For someone, inducement is a liquidity graph, which is my second rule though. So you see some lit traders see equal lows, price goes down. They don't call it liquidity sweep, they call it inducement. And yeah, that's it basically. And third, you might also see someone use no inducement, no trade as yeah, let's say Algo Hub. They are teaching the liquidity levels as inducement, right? They call it inducement types. So for them, it would be no SLQ, ILQ, ILQ, maybe TLQ, but TLQ isn't used for inducement trades, and EPA, right? Meaning if you have a trade like this, the price does this, and there's inefficiency left, then they want to position themselves into trades here in this EPA. This was the last EPA. This was IPA. So yeah, that's your inducement types. If you want to trade a reversal, you should ask yourself this: liquidity sweep. Has anyone been induced? Has anything been swept? Why are we expecting a reversal in the first place? All right. Then you should ask yourself, where are we within a liquidity cycle? So where am I in a liquidity cycle? Within. So again, you can use any liquidity cycle possible. All of them are okay. But even a simple AMD is enough. You can ask yourself, are we accumulating, manipulating, right? Or manipulating / inducing? Oh, inducing, or are we distributing? Meaning the real move is happening, right? So this is something you should have identified as well, 100%. And then your trading plan will be based on one of those. First, if you are not profitable yet, you just focus on one. And what's the best thing to do is manipulation and distribution, right? Trading accumulations is really risky. This is the best for now. Meaning if there is no liquidity sweep, you don't enter on trade, no matter what. Even if you see a nice build up, you don't enter. It's not in your trading plan. So where am I in the liquidity cycle? And again, and that should be everything. No inducement / EPA, no trade. Or EPA, no trade. So only these four is enough for you to build a technical plan. And then, yeah. An entry, again, pick one. You have many entries at your disposal. I haven't shown everything yet, but that would just get it messier for you. So, you can simply, oh, I forgot, higher time frame, order flow, meaning supply and demand. That's all there is to it. You mark high time frames, high probability supply demands, and there's not much. You can either use MSU POI, meaning you have an MSU left, the price was never mitigated, there was IPA, and price retraces. That's your order flow that you want to trade from. Or you want to look for any high probable supply demand, let's say that took liquidity or has liquidity and has liquidity in front of it. So there's literally everything. Trading is very simple. And this should be everything for technical side. We can talk about psychology now. Trading day session and one, pick one. Yeah, and about the entries, you already have 5 or maybe 10 entries at your disposal. You can pick one of those, you know? If you are comfortable, if you're an SNC trader, then you just pick an MSU setup. You continue with your marking supply demands, you know? You wait for any liquidity to be taken that taps into your SND. You play your MSU. As simple as that. You can trade liquidity sweeps. We've talked about this previous day as well, right? We have liquidity. Price took out with a wick. We wait for that wick to be taken out. Gopoi, Sugopoi. No, we are not gonna talk about that. It's not our concepts to talk about, but maybe in last session we can leak some stuff out. So yeah. So this is gonna be a really short session. It's gonna be like 10 more minutes. But yeah. And you just finish your trading plan with psychology, which is more important, way more important than technicals in general. But yeah. So you should have everything defined already, like how you trade, what you're looking for in the chart. No guessing. Okay. And then if you have data of one entry model and one way to identify key levels, then you have a trading plan done, basically. And then you can add entries, you can add way more entries, and then you eventually reach intraday mastery. Like it's as simple as that. So for psychology, you want to trade with 100% attention. And this is the reason why I said I trade 2 hours a day. If I wake up late, 2 to 4 hours basically, because this is the only time I can only focus 100% in this time window, meaning you see every single move. You know, trading isn't watching movie on a side. There's only when price is in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, 100% attention, and especially, yeah, I'm gonna kick someone out real quick. Okay, no, I'm not that mean. Higher time frame is the most important, but intraday MTF is enough. But you should always check a higher time frame to get no surprises, you know. Because sometimes you just watch price and then price flies 50 pips and you don't know why. If you check higher time frame before, you know that there was something on 4 hour, let's say price is here, then there's that possibility of price flying right away during that day. So you won't be surprised, and you will have that in the back of your mind, always counting with that. And you are just cautious, right? So psychology, 100% attention, meaning if you want to trade intra-session, which best traders usually do, or best traders I've met so far usually do, they only trade London and part of New York, maybe. But, you know, one session is enough if you want to be intra-session. So intra-session, 2 to 4 hours max. If you want to be intraday, you know, 2 to 8 hours max. You shouldn't exceed 8 hours because that would be stupid then. 8 hours of trading though, not studying. You can backtest 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, but this is for studying, for trading. And even 8 hours is crazy because, you know, because if you do 8 hours, there's something wrong with you, basically. there's no reason to trade 8 hours, let's say. But if you want to trade more, you know, even let's say you take one trade a day and you're profitable, you have 50% win rate, you get 3R on average. If you trade 365 days a week, you still double your account, or maybe triple it, risking 1%. So, 8 hours is not that necessary. 2 to 4 hours is the best when you can focus. And maybe if you want to analyze the chart or something, or you don't get any trade, no reason. So, then you should have set strictly how many wins or losses a day you want to have. So myself, I only do 3 wins a day with an edge that I was using during this mentorship, during these last two months. I was only catching high major moves of the day, but if I decide to scalp, I of course change that into, let's say, 6 scalps wins or 8. But if you are intraday, 3 wins a day should be enough. And your trades, and remember, if you follow your strategy, your trades should be very specific. It's not that you have a trade every single 30 minutes. It doesn't work like that, okay? So, 3 wins is a lot. You can decrease that into 2. You finish your day, you hit 2 TPs, you close it. Same goes for number of losses. And I have 3 to 6 losses a day as well. And this is the most important part, by the way. So I'm gonna just put 30 on this. Yeah, we do this big. If you have 3 losses a day, just close it, don't trade, or do studies, do something else, do markups, test your edge again. But don't trade, especially when you're funded. It's very hard, but yeah. If you can't control yourself, just delete NT4 from your PC or from your phone. But if you don't follow this, and even if your technicals are good, on whatever level, you're gonna burn your account sooner or later. Your account's gonna bleed just because you don't follow these. Yeah, you're gonna lead to FOMO and revenge trading. Oh, trading, right? And then same for break-evens, 3 BE a day. So there's a reason to this as well. If you have too many break-evens, you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna doubt your edge. You're gonna try to change your targets, but that's something you don't do during trading. You do that when you're studying. You collect data, you adjust your data based on what you've got, but not in trading. You don't change anything in your trading plan. Okay. So that's this. If you are feeling stress during trading, you should decrease your risk. So respectable amount of risk per trade. When do I put yourself at breaking? Okay. So meaning if you're trading a funded account, I wouldn't advise you to risk more than 0.5%. If you're intraday trader or scalper, no, if you're a scalper, if you're intraday, 0.5 to 1% is fine, because you don't have that crazy volume of trades, and you pick trades, you pick high quality trades. That's what intraday is from, and that's what intraday is about, basically, right? And this is funded, by the way. Funded and personal Personal, no more than 3%. Yeah, 3%. 1%, risking 1% on personal is totally fine. You can have 80, yeah, let's say 80 losses or 90 losses, including fees, commission, and that's pretty impossible, right? To have 80%, to have 80 loss streak. So you're not gonna burn your account with 1% risk. And 3%, that's for people who wanna flip accounts. That's the most reasonable risk that I've seen so far for flipping accounts. But if you wanna really flip it and you know your win rate is high, no, people just risk 10% a trade or 20% a trade. And yeah. So yeah. Then max trading hours, you have it here. Oh, okay. Daddy, I'm gonna meet you. Don't know who you are, but yeah. So if you feel any emotional discomfort, leave a chart, right? Meaning if you wake up, or this is what I do as well, this is what everyone who's funded does or who values their money does. If you, let's say I trade in the morning, if I wake up tired or, hungry or just sad or something like that, I have anxiety or feel depressed, then don't trade. If you have any little discomfort, don't trade. Just leave it for the next day, right? So yeah, and this applies during trading as well. You don't have to follow your trading hours. You don't have to wait for 3 wins or 3 losses to happen before closing. If you feel bad, or if you're winning, if you have 2 wins already and you don't, if you have 2 wins already and you feel greedy or something like that, you should leave the chart right away as well. So we're gonna restart this call and we're gonna finish it like for 5 more minutes.